Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am actually pretty excited about bringing this one. Been kind of just sitting on it for a few days, not really sure what to do with it, and I had decided that I was going to do another watercolor, another watercolor painting. Again, I'm kind of experimenting with this because the only watercolors that I've ever actually used were the basic ones you get in grade school, like the ones that come in the Crayola packs. Not saying that they're bad or anything, they're just the most basic. And then the other kind was, do you remember those art kits at like Christmas time that your family would buy, like if you're really big into art? And then the watercolors were like a chalky feel after you painted, and it was like I absolutely hated that feeling. Again, I'm not a big fan of chalky watercolors, and I think that's why I haven't been really big into watercolors, is, you know, having cheap supplies will kind of cause you to not want to use them as often. And it's very disappointing. Unfortunately, but we're working with a little bit better products now that now that I'm an adult. I did get this watercolor pan set via Sketchbox. No, this is not a sponsored video, and I'm not getting paid to use their products. I had used it before in another video to show you guys what you can do with a limited amount of art supplies, and I believe it was the sunflower video. So if you would like, you could go and check out that video as well. But I think I've gotten into the hang of it, using more simple artwork. Nothing that's significantly layered or complicated designs. I've seen some really beautiful watercolor pieces, and they are highly detailed, and they are, again, very gorgeous. Come to think of it, I think the other day I had seen somebody had painted a skull using watercolor, and I'm still kind of learning as far as like dark and light, and trying to establish the right amount of like water to get what you want out of watercolors. I also wanted to try this. It's right now working on cardstock, which I know a lot of people be like, oh my god, what are you doing? It's gonna look terrible, it's gonna bubble. I had used this cardstock on with another piece of artwork, and it didn't bubble as much, but I was using the watercolored pencil, so I didn't need too much water laid down, or even really at all. And it turned out pretty good. I'm not gonna argue with it. It turned out really, really good. I completely forgot a piece of paper towel, but I had a piece sitting off to the side, away from, yeah. So, I kind of want to do a little bit, like a really light brown, just to kind of like add some, not necessarily detail, but some hue, like some gradient effect without it being too harsh. I'm a huge fan of like the gradients when it comes to watercolor, and how you can get such a smooth color variation, like an ombre effect. And I also like the fact that you could take watercolors just about anywhere, and they're pretty universal. And I've been struggling on trying to figure out what kind of art supplies I wanted to bring along on my trip, because I'm kind of limited, to say the least, because of I'm pretty much carrying everything in a backpack, and I also have to think about camera gear and a few other things for mainly some nature photography I'll be working on. So that's pretty exciting. And I'm pretty stoked. It's getting closer. At the moment that you guys are probably watching it, I will probably be back from said trip. I don't know really like when these videos are gonna go up or anything, and that's okay, because I'm pre-recording for kind of like my benefit, and then whenever the videos go up, then you guys can tune in. And with this, I had layered the ochre, which is like a brown, and then I had layered the brown on top with it being darker. And now I think I'm going to go in with, I think I might go into the brown and do the little, or should I do onyx? So many decisions. Oh, why is that doing that? Yeah, I think I'll do the onyx. Kind of make it look like some bolts. They don't have to actually be, although I probably should have kept it the same, like with the brown, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I might. See, and I'm torn between the indigo. I don't know what that kind of looks like. Ooh, that's a pretty blue. It's really pretty blue. I really like that blue. And I'm torn between that and the blue-green palette. I don't know if you guys can... Yeah, you guys can see it. Sweet. That makes me a little happy. So you guys can kind of see the process. Darn fly. You know, the funny thing is about having a dog is that you gotta take them out, and when they don't want to come in, they just stand there with the door wide open and let in a bunch of flies. Ooh, I could do a gradient with the background too. That'd be really pretty. And I'm thinking about doing kind of I want to do green for the little mountains, but I kind of want them varying shades of green, not just green. Because I want the, I want to be able to tell the difference between, like, if anybody here has been to Tennessee and has been to, like, the Newfound Gap, or even in Kentucky, it was like a few months ago, I did a hike up to Pilot Knob that had been a momentary, like, bucket list because we were in the area. And I know I'd shared the picture before on my channel and felt really, really accomplished with how well that hike went. And anyway, but the background of it has the varying shades of trees and stuff, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I love the look of that. And it always makes me so happy to see the mountains. It does. And if you haven't been able to get out and see the mountains, I hope that this will help kind of give you an idea. Because, and it's going to be, I kind of want to give you this slice of the mountains right here in this painting. Even though it's a small one, it's still something. I definitely had taken this idea of adventure the past couple of years. I've definitely taken that idea head on, and it could be a small adventure. It could be an adventure up the road to the donut shop you want to go to. It could be a change in career. It can be anything. Oh, you darn fly. But we are here creating the adventure, and I am here taking you along my journey as an artist, and right now a watercolorist. And I'm so excited, you guys. Like, so freaking excited. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, so that will probably be okay. I thought about just doing oh, these darn flies, man. It's also gonna rain, so I think that they're starting to bite a little bit. Or at least it's calling for rain this, like, literally for pretty much the rest of the week. And I don't know how I feel about that, because we have a really awesome ride coming up at the end on the weekend, that's the other reason why I'm like prepping these videos ahead of time, is because during the summer, it's really hard for me to take some time to film and not so much edit. Usually when I'm just editing, I'm doing some voiceover. So if you guys ever get any voiceovers, like I know I have one that is Am I the Asshole coming out. That one, I hope I get good feedback on that. I know a lot of people are doing Am I the Asshole content. And I'm trying to make these Am I the Asshole ones really, really funny. Not really like advice ideas. It's literally just really funny things. Like, I have a couple of stories that are coming up that I thought about doing, and let me tell you what, I think they're hilarious. I'm also leaning on, like, I don't want to say, like, because it sounds terrible, but, like, have you guys ever had that, like, really annoying coworker? Or really strange coworker? Because, well, let me tell you what, I do. And I don't think she will ever actually watch these videos. She's kind of an older woman. And if my friend Marie is watching this, no, it's not you. But she's strange too. So if you are watching this, hi Marie. Again, I don't know if she will actually watch these videos. And I'm kind of hoping that she doesn't, like, if she does show her grandchildren, that, I'm very sorry for the language ahead of time. I forewarned her that sometimes I tend to cuss. So to just take everything with, like, a grain of salt, obviously. Anyway, we have this coworker, and, she is, she talks about very inappropriate things, and, like, we all joke about it, but it's one thing to, like, say, oh, I'm gonna drop a hot deuce in the toilet, and, like, be all haha funny about it. But it's another thing when you sit there and you tell your coworkers that you have to get enemas because you're constipated. Like, I really don't need to know that information. I also don't appreciate that information. It's a little out there. So if you are a person that is talking about getting an enema, I'm pretty sure your coworkers don't want to hear that. If it's your, like, close friend and you've been friends with this person for 2, 3, 4 years, they'll probably, like, giggle at you, laugh a little, but in all honesty, I don't think they really want to know that you're getting an enema. Okay? So, like, totally keep that to yourself. You know? So. But yeah. This one coworker, it's hard to say, like, I don't want to call her abrasive because that's not really the right word. At least it doesn't feel like the right word. but she has this idea that she always has to be in your space, and like there are some days where it's borderline uncomfortable. Like the other day she was talking to me and she had to be like 2 inches from my face, and I'm not comfortable with that. Like, you don't need to be all up on me. Now, if you'd been my friend for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, it's a different story. Like, but I also don't want you all up in my space. And I am mixing these colors so that way I can get kind of like a gradient effect too. But no seriously harsh lines. I will make the lines, I'm sorry, got a little sidetracked with the actual art itself. But like, even if you're like my friend of that many years, like, please ask permission before you touch me. I don't get me wrong, like, I like to be lovey-dovey, but I don't like to be lovey-dovey when it's hot as balls out. Or I don't like to be in people's bubbles when it's like 90 degrees outside. So just don't. I don't need you breathing on me. You already have some hot ass breath. Do not breathe on me. So that was kind of like the gist of it. Again, I doubt that she's even going to watch this video or watch these videos. So there's really nothing that I have to worry too much about. And if she does, take a fucking hint. Like, take a fucking hint. And I mean that in the most respectful way ever. She, today while at work, she had, so my one friend left for the day, and usually my one friend is taking a brunt of the conversations, because I try to avoid this woman literally 98% of the day. Like, my job is warehouse, but my secret job is avoid her. Like, avoid her like she has the freaking plague. And that is sad. That pine is very pretty. So I kind of want to mix it with the green. This lime green. I don't know. Ooh, okay, that is actually kind of coming out really pretty. So I think I want to keep mixing these colors. Sorry. But my one friend, she handles a large bulk of the pain in the assery that comes her way. So whenever she is gone for the day or whichever, a lot of us others she will try to talk to. And I don't know if, like, I really don't care to listen too much. Like, I'll listen and I'll nod, but I you could tell when I'm not going to fully engage in a conversation with you. Only for the simple fact that I'm just not. I'm not. I don't care. And it's probably because I would prefer a conversation that has, I hate to say it, it's not really intelligent feedback conversation if you are telling me about your mom's colonoscopy bag. Anyway, basically her mom's poop bag. I don't care that you know how to change that. That is, and I don't care about the details of changing your mom's waste bag. That is between you and your mom and you and your family. Again, I am not either one of those. It does not matter to me. Okay. This is kind of looking, oh, okay, this is not, it is looking okay. Some really harsh greens. But, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's rolling hills. Rolling green hills. But, yeah, like, I don't need to hear about your mom's coloscopy. I can never say the word coloscopy bag. Again, it's none of my business. She had that conversation, or she tried to have that conversation with me, and it was literally going nowhere. I just kept on going, yeah, okay, and that should be a clue as to I'm not interested in talking about this. But I guess she interpreted it as, oh, Brittany wants to hear more. I don't want to hear more. But I could only imagine if she is watching this video what she is thinking. Because I don't think I ever given her, like, possible access to these videos. Granted, I don't think she would even watch. I honestly think the only coworker that has sat and watched was my one friend, Melody. And which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's definitely not. I get kind of nervous whenever I tell my coworkers that I do have a YouTube channel and that it feels a little weird. Like, I feel like I almost have like an imposter syndrome kind of going on. And it's a little... Oh, that looks so cool. Okay. Yeah. I get a little bit of an imposter syndrome kind of going on. Just because I'm like, I'm an artist, but it's like, am I really? And I'm here to tell you, because sometimes I don't believe it in myself, that if you create art for your pleasure, for other people's pleasure, for the hell of it, you are, in fact, an artist. I know. Practice what I preach, right? Right. Okay, I want to, like, really, really lighten that to, like, a gray color. Like, almost Oh, you know what? I should mix it with some white. That's what I should do. And I don't care if there's blue mixed in. I really don't. Because then it kind of adds to it. What did I do? Hey, that works. Because then the blue kind of, it bounces, it kind of gives, I don't want to call it like a light source, but like if you're ever looking at clouds, there's always some like, just a tiny bit of like blue in it. But it's like the, how should I explain, like the light kind of like reflecting. Oh gosh, it's so hard and easy to explain. Like I don't want them to look like storm clouds. I want them to look like clouds, but not like cloud. Like the fake white. I want them to look a little bit kind of realistic without them being like storm clouds. And yeah, like, I'm sorry you guys have like literally sat here and listened to me just ramble about coworkers and this artwork and what kind of plans I have. Actually, that little bit of dark blue that I have in the background kind of helps. It keeps them gray, but it doesn't keep them like stark white. But it also doesn't look like it's about ready to storm in the picture. Like, it looks very, very, very pretty. I feel like I should add some like yellow somewhere, but I don't know if that would be too much, because I do want to add a little bit more darker pigment to the baskets. Alright. There we go. That basket kind of, there's really no, I mean there is, but there isn't. I really wish that this set had a pink color, but I did mix some. I don't know if I want to put that as the banner. I don't know. Or if I want to leave it like I don't want to do it the same color as that. I kind of want to do it pink. Or should I do it red to match the hot air balloons? I'm thinking red, but not like a too dark of a red. Like, I can do this. I mean, it will probably look more pink than red. That's okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a really dark, deep, kind of a magenta color. Did I want that? Actually, it's not too bad. So I will, actually, I could do that as the shade part right here. Like when it folds over and stuff. So yeah, you guys kind of get my inner monologue. And I speak on it out loud so that way you guys can kind of obviously hear what I'm thinking, but know that the design aspect, on this particular piece was, there was absolutely nothing in my brain. I kind of just went for it with no real like idea. Dude, these flies. I had like 3 of them in my house last night and it was driving me crazy. And yeah. So. Okay. That works. But anyway, you guys get the inner monologue that will be in my brain, and you guys get it out loud. There are some cases where I do work based on a particular set of colors. Now, I know that I do have a piece of artwork that I am going to be working on. I don't know when. And now that one might be a set color palette, only for the mere fact that it is Halloween themed. And you guys know me. I'm a sucker for Halloween themed stuff. And I'm trying to branch out. I've been using my iPad a lot, like I've said in one of the videos that I've done. I've been using my iPad a lot, and I've been working on a lot of digital artwork. And you guys actually might see that probably here soon. I'm probably going to put up some like clips so that way you guys can, probably some shorts. Okay. Actually, shit. Was that the wrong one? See? You guys totally... It probably was, because I wanted it to do like more reddish pink color. But I either have red, pink red, or orange red. Makes sense, right? So, I wanted to do like... Okay, yeah. This banner is all messed up. That's okay. It's okay, we're here to make mistakes and learn from them. I think I might kind of do this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's kind of how I did that. I did want it to be a deeper red, but I guess I mixed the wrong 2 colors or something. I don't know. I'm figuring it out as I go. Honestly, that's how it all works out sometimes. It's all about going with the flow, and if the flow doesn't seem right, abort mission. Just kidding. You might want to fix the flow. Look at that. That looks cute. Okay. Hopefully I'll be getting my Spotify up. Obviously after I get back from a vacation. That's my goal. My goal is to get it up and running, so that way you guys can buy actually original artwork, not just copies, or copies sound bad. But yeah, it's prints of the artwork. I want you guys to be able to purchase like the actual artwork, so that way you guys have something, a little bit of me. And I will be probably signing all prints and stuff, so that way, or not prints, all of the original artwork. And then I will probably end up putting like original artwork, and then signed it and date it and stuff like that. So that way you guys have something. I don't have one of those drying tools, which I think that's what's made this a little bit harder to do. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know, it acts funny. I don't know if my other white gel pen, I don't even know where it went. Actually, you know what? I might be able to use something else. Actually, I think I found. Okay. I hope it didn't knock too far on there. I'm using the Sketchbox signature white. It's the 0.8 millimeter gel pen. Kind of hoping it works better than the Sakura Jelly Roll, but it's not as good as I was hoping. Okay, well, wherever it is, I can't find it now. So, I had a white, almost like a white paint pen that would work out graciously. Oh, I've missed some areas. Maybe I could add this in there seamlessly. Oh, look at that. Seamlessly. Hell yeah. Okay, I might have a little brush pen. Here we go. Don't know how well this brush pen will work. It's been a while since I actually used it. But I will use it on the banner. I have the Micron it's archival ink, but it's a Pigma brush. And in theory, it does kind of work like how a paintbrush would if you have a really delicate hand and you just kind of want to follow the lines. And if you've noticed that I tend to put my line work after, for the simple fact that if you line it before is what I've noticed. Not saying mistakes happen, but they're a lot easier to fix with the outline afterwards. It's a little bit thick. So, a few years ago, I was on dating sites and stuff like that, and, just like any single person would do, but I was briefly seeing this guy, and at the time, I had thought he was absolutely a wonderful guy, super nice, that whole thing. And then after kind of getting out of a very abusive and toxic relationship with my ex, I had done the work on myself to get to that point, and then I had a lot of lust for this guy, and that should have been an obvious red flag from the beginning. And it got to the point where we were talking like almost every day for a couple of hours a day. And he worked third shift and I worked first. And like really getting to know this guy, and well, I was ignoring some of the red flags. Because let's put it this way, the guy was cute. And I'm not going to deny that. And that is always my weakness. Always. But anyway, out of the blue, after talking for almost a month and a half, consistently, he up and drops me without warning, without reason, just completely ghosts me. And I'll be honest, it really freaking pissed me off. And it pissed me off to the point where, like, dude, I don't want that song, I Don't Fuck With You. Like, that's kind of how I felt. Like, I think he knew that I was catching feelings for him, and the easiest way to obviously back out of that is to ghost someone. And I'm going to fully admit that, like, I've been on that same path. I've ghosted people. I've had my fair share of, like, ooh, no, this isn't going as I thought it was, and then it's like, I don't want to hurt their feelings, but at the same time, like, sometimes you gotta own up to what you do. And I think that's what he was doing. I think he was trying to spare my feelings. But anyway, he had dropped me with, I eventually got the answer out of him, and it was probably the most dumb answer. And so I completely cut off all contact with him and just kind of lived my life. And lo and behold, this guy ended up following me on TikTok, on Instagram, on pretty much every social media. And the whole reason in my brain, the whole reason why was because he wanted that satisfaction that I was commenting, liking this and that post of his, because obviously he's a music artist, and I'm just a regular art artist, and he just wanted me to go back into that mindset, like, oh, I'll drop everything for him, like I had done, and he thinks that it'll be all the same again. And I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, no, dude, you fucking burned your bridge. You burned your bridge, and that was that. And yeah, like, him doing what he did really freaking made me mad. So he kind of burned his bridge. Well, I'm obviously in a relationship, and he had sent me a message, motorcycles up and ready, and I'm like, what the fuck? And at this point, I have went out of my way to literally blow him off the exact same way that he had done to me. And like, he knows that I'm in a relationship and stuff like that. So I've literally been blowing him off just like the way he did to me. Because A, you don't get away with that shit. And then 2, how does it fucking feel that I'm leaving you on red when you left me on red? Stuff like that. Yeah, I will admit, I can be an asshole. But don't play with my feelings, bruh. So, here is the final version. Sorry that I had to get up and try to figure out what I was going to do as far as lining this piece of artwork. I appreciate you guys following along with me and enjoying the ride. Remember, adventure awaits, and to create more and worry less. Thank you, everybody, and hope you have a great day. Bye!